Okay guys, so welcome to the sewing class. So we're actually going to be sewing the shift dress. Okay, so the first thing I'm doing, like I said, you guys saw I had designs, right? One side is this and one side is this. That way I couldn't cut this part on fold, so it's separate pieces, right? So I now have to join it at half of an inch. You can join yours on whatever you kept. Okay, so mine is at half, and I've always said when you start sewing, okay, I'm sure you're seeing what I'm doing, right? So half back stitch, okay, and then you sew down at half. Okay, so you're going to sew all that to the end and then we'll continue. Okay, so I'm done joining that, so I'll show you. So after doing that, now I have it as one piece. Have you seen? So when you're cutting yours, try and make sure that the design tallies. If you're cutting it, check the white part and check the black part. So make sure that this blends either straight up to the white or straight up to the black. So see that, you know. And my fabric is so light that when I'm wearing it, obviously I have to wear something inside. Okay, so we're done with that. The next thing we're going to do is pick up your back. This is the most easiest dress to make. Okay, so I've opened my back. This is my front, right side to right side. So this is my right side facing the right side of the fabric. Okay, so I want to now join my shoulders. So join it at, you're going to join the two anyway. So join at the same half of an inch that we kept, okay? And always backstitch when you start, like I always say. Please, when I'm using any, if I'm sewing on any part, I shall not use black. I'll change and use the same color of this fabric, you know. So I'm just using black now because it's not showing on the outside. So once I'm done with this, I'm going to seal the sides as well. So whatever you kept, I said we should keep 1 inch, right, for the sides. So once I'm done doing all this, I'll take it to the weaving machine and I will knit it. So now this is the side, front, side, back. Okay, so it was 1 inch. It's the most easiest slip-on dress to make. Very easy. So it's something you can just make, slip on and go to where you're going to. So this is my 1 inch. So sew down. Like I said, if that thread is going to show, then you have to use the same color. But there's nothing I'm doing there on the outside, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm sewing at 1 inch. Always try to align your fabric when you're sewing, so that you're not, this the fabric I'm using has a tendency to stretch out. So that's one side. I'm also going to seal this side. Okay, so once I do that to this part, so also sew this part at 1 inch. All right, so I've kept that at 1 inch. So we're going to sew that all the way down, and then I'll weave it and come back and show you. Okay guys, so I'm just attaching my bias now. Okay, so I had done some weaving, knitting some parts. So I want to attach the bias and then flip it to the front. So this is how it's going to be. Okay, so I'm just joining it to the neckline. So of course, like I had said earlier, cut your bias the amount you want it to be. So I've done that. Like, I'm not putting it round. I'm joining this bias at the shoulder part. So see what I did. I just joined it. Okay. Since I'm going to be weaving it, so this I'll keep for the back. So what I'm going to do is flip this. Right. This is the front, the right side of the fabric. So I'm flipping the bias over. All right. Then I'll top stitch. So I'm top stitching on the right side and making sure that my stitches, the stitches under, is not showing. So I'm trying to place that properly. Okay. But I wanted to be really careful. I'll make sure all the white here has white. I'll keep changing the thread as I'm sewing, but that's me being overzealous anyway. So please just keep turning this and covering the under stitch, and you're sewing just at the edge so that it looks very neat. So just sew at the edge. So what I'm doing here now, okay, you're going to do the very same thing to the back neckline, right? Then we'll now join it at the shoulder. So however you want to design yours is fine. You can actually even use a facing as well, but I just chose to use this. So it's looking beautiful, right? So let's fix the back. Okay, so I'm done joining, turning it at the neckline. Okay, so I'll seal it. Now, like I said, you have an option. You can as well do this after you have joined your shoulder together. It's very, very okay. I just chose it this way because I'm going to weave, right? So you can do it after your shoulder joining. It will still give you that very neat finishing. So for whatever reasons, I just chose to do it this way. Okay? So there is no rule about that, so that you won't ask me, ma, so must you fix it? You don't have to, please. Anyhow you do it is just fine. Okay? So I'm going to seal this, and I'll be weaving that part. So you also seal this part as well. So please just try to even align. If you're doing it this way, try to align it, because like I said, it's better you even fix it after you've done your shoulder. I don't know why I chose this method, but you don't have to. Just try to align it. So I'm going to show you how to do the sleeves now. Okay, so I am going to be hemming the sleeves now. Okay, I kept 1 inch, so I'll just fold this. This is the way I want to do it. You can actually sew the sides close before you do this. It's still fine. Okay, So I'm not going to use, I'll change because this is blue. Like I normally say, it's better to use, whatever color that goes with that. So I'll have to change my thread. Alright. So I'll do the black with this. That's the problem when you're making all the mix and matches. So first of all, I'm folding that. So you just fold that and continue sewing. So you fold off at whatever you kept. So I'm folding off at 1 inch. So whatever I'm doing, you're going to do to the second sleeve. So after doing this, fold it over. I'll trim this off. That's the excess I added. Okay, then you close it at whatever you kept. So I kept 1 inch, so I'm going to be closing at 1 inch. Now after doing this, I'm actually going to weave. So it's better to always weave. Okay. So I'm going to weave all the edges here, right? And do the same thing to the second sleeve, and then I'll show you how to finish it up. Okay guys, so I've done my sleeve and see, it's all neatly woven, okay? So I'll bring it out to the right side. This is the right side, Abby. Okay, and my fabric stays on the wrong side. So I'm fixing it here where the blue is. So I'll take, this is where I notched at the middle, and I'll push this inside this dress. That's what I did. Then try to align the middle point. Okay? So I'm aligning the middle center point to the center of the shoulder as well. And we're getting, shift dress, there's nothing to it. And I'm almost done with it anyway. So after all the sleeve, we're going to fold the hem, and that's that. Okay, so you pin down the down part as well. Please, when you're done, also try and weave your weave the armhole, okay, as well. So I normally pin. Most times, if you can sew without pinning, please go ahead. Okay, so I'll pin it down, and then you're going to stitch it round. So normally that's how you fix the female sleeve. Okay? So that's it, stretch it and it fits in. Okay, so I'm just arranging the sleeve. So that's it, and it fits in perfectly. Okay? So you're going to do whatever I'm doing here, you're going to do same to the other side. So I'll just place it, okay, and I'll start stitching it around. So just try to align it. Remember, we kept 1/2 inch for all this. So I'm just sewing off at that 1/2 inch. Please, if your fabric moves like mine, try and always arrange it while you're sewing. So once I'm done with this, I'll take it to the weaving machine, and I'll weave the raw edges, okay, so that you make it look neat, right? I just had to sew this whole part to show you. You're going to sew the other part on your own. So that's it. I've joined it together. So we'll take it to the weaving machine and weave it. So please do the other side, and after that we do the hem and we're done. Okay, so I am done folding, as in I'm done weaving anyway. So now I want to hem this. That's the final thing that is left. Okay, so you hem it at whatever you kept it. So normally what I do, I just mark off whatever I kept. And now when I sew with a blue thread, I'm going to stop here. I will not use the blue thread and sew where the black and white is. Okay, so when I get there, I will as well just change my thread. Okay, so those are the points I'm really going to be very, very careful with. Okay, so I'll make sure I start with blue and end the blue where this is the irony in this fabric. It just, messes up, stretches in different ways. That's the problem I have with it. Okay, so try and use a fabric that you can actually work with, because mine is looking totally messed up. So that's the only thing that is left for us to do, is to fold this hemline, right? So I'll do this and then I'll push this inside and then I'll stitch on top of it. See what I did? This is how it's staying. Turn it the first time 1 inch, turn it, you can just turn a little bit and take it into your 1 inch, and then you're going to stitch it all the way around. Okay, so I've pinned it around, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm just folding a little bit here. That's all. So like I had said, I want to start from the blue, so I'll end where the blue is and then I'll change my thread to my black. So see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'll just stitch. Alright, so make sure that it's at the blue part. That's why I'm taking it slow at that point first. Okay, so I'll keep folding it. So that's all. So just hem it nicely, flow with your hemline and sew it all the way around. So I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, so that's what I've done. I changed the thread when I got here, so you would see that this is blue and this is black. Okay, so and we're done. All right, so see you in our next class.